India today offers immense potential with growth opportunities spanning sectors and market segments. As a dynamic and evolving economy, it truly represents one India, multiple growth opportunities. And we are excited to introduce the Groww Multicap Fund, which seeks to provide investors with the potential to explore growth across large, mid, and small cap companies. In this discussion, we're joined by Mr. Balvir Chawla, a seasoned financial advisor and the Director of Finnovators Services Pvt in Pune. Over the years, Mr. Chawla has guided numerous families in achieving their financial goals. And in this session, he shares his insights on multi-cap strategies, how they navigate India's evolving market, and the opportunities they present across different market caps. But please note, this video is for educational purposes only and not a recommendation. Before considering any investment, be sure to read the Scheme Information Document or SID carefully and consult your financial advisor to assess its suitability for your financial goals. Let's get into it. Mr. Chawla, hi, thank you so much for taking time out and chatting with us today. First up, I'd like to know, how do large, mid, and small cap companies differ in terms of risk and return potential, and why should investors care about these differences?
Well, thank you for having me, and always a pleasure to interact with you. So broadly, when we look at risk and return, and when we talk in the terms of the segmentation of the market in large cap, mid cap, and small cap, we have to understand that large caps are typically more stable companies, and of course, they have been gone through all the ups and downs of the markets, and they have seen various business cycles, and that's where they have built up a system which is more robust and more, they've created a moat around themselves where they are more used to having more business coming through them automatically, and the risk comparatively is much lower when you invest in a large cap stock. And in the mid cap, small cap, of course, because as the nature is, a small cap company would be a new entrant into the space, would be trying out various things, ready to take more risks and ready to give more returns also, because the growth rate would be much faster as compared to a large cap. A large cap would be more stable, consistent, and growing at a steady pace rather than, taking too many risks. So that is what the broad difference would be between a large cap and small cap. And of course, a mid cap would be somebody who's already taken some risks and wants to go up to the next level. So it would again be wanting to become a leader in its own self or become a leader in its domain, or would want to take more risks accordingly. And of course, when you talk of returns, it will definitely be correlated to your risks as it is. So you will have small caps which will deliver more returns, but of course, you will be the volatility and the time duration and the risks that you are taking is also going to be much higher as compared to a large cap, which can be more as a consistent performer over a longer period of time.
And if we look at large cap companies, what role do they play in an investment portfolio, and how do they contribute to long term wealth building?
So large cap companies are basically leaders in their own self. So they are, as it is, you're investing in a leader in the so you take in a software or you take banking, you're investing in the leaders of the economy, and they are going to be playing a more stable role in your portfolio, as what I said earlier also, and also giving you returns. So they are building up a consistency in your portfolio with low volatility and low risks, and that plays a major, so that can become your core portfolio at any individual style, and which will generate returns over a longer period, because remember that even though they are large cap, they still will multiply or grow with the economy in a much more faster pace. So I think so one should always look at large cap as the core portfolio, because you cannot risk everything into a small cap or a mid cap where you don't know whether you're going to get returns in the next 5 years, 10 years from there.
Okay. What about mid and small caps now? What are the potential benefits for an investor to add mid or small cap or both in their portfolios?
So you could have a company which is a leader in its own self but will be a small cap company. There could be a large cap company which is having a small cap company feeding it for its maybe ancillaries or maybe for its other support systems. And with the large cap, the small cap is also growing. But the growth rate of the small cap is going to be much higher as compared to the large cap because of the sheer size of the companies. So in an investor's portfolio, one has to always look at it. When you're building a portfolio, you're building a team. So you need some players who are consistent, who are going to play in all conditions. There are going to be some players who are going to be sort of upcoming or more, they've sort of proven a bit, but not fully proven. So you need to have them in the portfolio because you believe that these guys are going to deliver over a longer period of time. And of course, you have to take two or three good bets where in the small cap space where you see that this has got the potential to be the large cap in the near future in the next 10-15 years. So in a portfolio, when you're creating a portfolio, I think so you need to look at it more as a team rather than anything else.
All right. Now, as a country's economy grows and matures, how do market cap allocations shift as per that, especially in an emerging market like India?
So I think so at a country level, India, we are poised for great growth in the coming years. And I think so we have just probably seen just the start of wealth creation in the Indian economy with business owners and with investors. And I personally believe that this is just the start of a great period for wealth creation for everybody. And as I said earlier, if you look at market capitalization, if the country is going to double the market capitalization from here going forward, so market capitalization of the companies is going to grow. You're going to have more and more. The other advantage is going to be you're going to have more and more companies coming into the fold of the listed space, which is going to again increase the market capitalization. So with all this happening, I think so it plays a very important role for the investor to understand that in a growing economy you should be focused on your goals, and you should also firmly believe that as a country we are going to do great, and that's where you should be keeping invested in all the three domains of large cap, mid cap and small cap.
And any thoughts on how a multi-cap strategy or a multi-cap fund could come into play in a scenario like this?
So again, just as I previously said, you just consider it as a team, that you're going to have some good players who are consistent, who have been through all types of seasons, all types of pitches. If I can use the terminology of cricket, they have played on all pitches and they know how to encounter that. The large companies are in a position where they have gone through maybe various cycles of economics ups and downs, of various changes in the economy, and they have come up you know strong after all of this. And you need to have them as the core, but you cannot ignore the mid and small, because they are going to be the next superstars, because they are going to be the next big guys into the, because there are, you won't find a company manufacturing drones in the large cap space today, but tomorrow it could be. You cannot find a company which is probably manufacturing something which is very very niche today, but it would be more, it could be a leader in the small cap, but it would not be in the large cap space. But you want exposure to them, because as the country grows, so in a multi-cap strategy you are having an exposure to all the areas of the market, with the flexibility of having a little bit more allocation either in the mid cap, small cap or large cap, depending on market conditions. So I think so in a person's portfolio it plays a perfect tool for allocation, where you don't have to worry whether I should be more into large cap or small cap, and you're having the best of all the three worlds.
We started the conversation by talking about large, mid, and small cap companies. So, while investing, any pitfalls or any factors to watch out for or be mindful of?
So while investing, typically what we've seen with investors is, typically they would want to chase returns. So if something has given well, turned well in the last year, year and a half, they would want to sort of latch on to it, or probably jump on that bus at that point of time. But one should always realize that that has been a past performance. So it's not going to always repeat continuously. And it could take some time for it to again start delivering a performance. So again, I say to the clients that when you are deciding on a journey, you just have to decide on the journey. You have to keep investing. You have to keep the basic pitfalls that typically, or the basic errors that are made, are you try to go back or look what has been giving good returns, you jump onto that, and then you realize it's not suiting your purpose. You cannot take that risk, you cannot take that volatility that's coming with it, and then you get out of it with bad experiences. So I think so investors should be wary of this. Investors should look at, if they want to create long term wealth, I think so patience and disciplines are the basic two words that one should keep in mind. If they have the patience and they maintain the discipline across market cycles, just like large companies become large over a period of time and create wealth for others, I think so investors can do the same and follow that philosophy and create wealth for themselves also in the same fashion.
All right, great, Mr. Chawla. Great chatting with you, and thank you so much for helping us deep dive into this entire world of different market caps, mid, small, and large caps, and how to differentiate one from another, and also how to sort of plan your investment strategy around it. Of course, after assessing carefully your goals and your appetite. Thank you once again for joining.
Thank you so much.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks Read all scheme related documents carefully.